Hey everyone, Mike Ganade from Manor Games here, and welcome to Board Game Madness 2024. So you may be asking yourselves, what is Board Game Madness? Well, it's something we're trying this year for the first time. I noticed that at the end of the year, a lot of people put together their own top 10 lists of the year, top 100 board games of all time, and I wanted to do something a little bit different. I am going to put together a tournament bracket, which I'll show you on the screen now. And I'm going to have my collection of games go head to head. All of these games are some of my favorite games in the collection. I don't have the biggest collection, and I've chosen some of my favorites to go head to head in a tournament style bracket to have one game crown the winner. Now, I've seeded these games based on the Board Game Geek rankings at the time I sort of put my list together. So I sort of took general consensus about where these games should be ranked or seeded, but obviously this tournament is all based on my own personal subjective opinion. So take all that with a grain of salt, but in general, I think you'll notice that some of the top seeded games will probably beat the lower seeded games. So you'll have to watch and see how often my opinion aligns with sort of the general consensus of Board Game Geek's rating system and how many times I divert from that. But unlike other top 10 lists, this particular series of videos is actually going to have some stakes attached to it. And I'm going to take the losers from the first round, and I will be putting half of them up on Board Game Geek Marketplace for sale, and I'll be culling them for my collection. So there will be stakes associated with this list, and as you can see, I don't have the biggest collection of games, and I regularly cull from it, but I wanted to have some fun with this particular series of videos. So just to cover how sort of I'll be rating the games, I'm going to have 4 quarters and 4 categories to rate each game at head to head. I'm going to pick a winner for each category. You can think of them as quarters, like a basketball game. A lot of those happen in March, so it's poignant. And what we'll be judging the games on head to head is we'll be judging them on production. That's sort of the quality of the components, the art, things like that, just the overall production of the game and how it was produced. Next up, we'll talk about the mechanics. That's sort of the gameplay, how all that works together. Third, we'll talk about the theme and how much that theme speaks personally to me, obviously. And then last but not least, we'll talk about replayability and longevity and how long maybe it's been in my collection or things like that. If for some reason 2 games are tied, one game wins 2 of those categories and one game wins the other 2, we'll have a sort of overtime tiebreaker type round as well. But in general, I want to keep these videos short. I hope you're on board for watching this and you'll check the videos every day. But Board Game Madness 2024, here we come. Find out my top games in a tournament style fashion in the coming days. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy it.